If you're someone who doesn't like to watch TV, you possibly spend a lot of time frequenting YouTube. I mean, you're here right now. You wouldn't click on this unless you were probably going to recognize these YouTubers. I also deduce that you are wearing black underwear. You're probably not, but I'm sure that I just freaked someone out. Anyway, we love to watch YouTubers because of the way they engage with their audience and connect to their fans. Though most popular YouTubers look like they just graduated college, you'll be shocked to see just how old these YouTube stars are. Don't forget to hit subscribe to stay up to date on more things related to pop culture, so you can be in the know. Louise Pentland. Louise Pentland is a British YouTuber who likes to vlog about fashion, beauty, makeup, and life. Her YouTube channel is more commonly known as Sprinkle of Glitter, containing all sorts of girly content. You can find fashion hauls and unboxing videos as well as makeup how-tos. Perhaps what gets her a lot of her attention, however, is her socially awkward stories that she shares on the regular. She also reminds me a bit of Rebel Wilson with the same winning smile, accent, and penchant for all things awkward. You can watch charming vlogs of her telling stories about how she almost accidentally set a restaurant on fire when she was eating with her now 6-year-old daughter. That's right, she has a 6-year-old daughter named Darcy, and she has another one on the way. With her bubbly, bright looks, you would probably assume that she was perhaps 24 or 25. She definitely has an audience around that age range. She pulls in 2.5 million subscribers to her channel, and she also has a book deal. So how old is she really? This beauty vlogger mom is actually 32 years old, being born in 1985. Here is a mom that really does have it all. Phil Lester. Otherwise known as Amazingphil, his fame might arguably be tied to his connection with Dan Howell. When they paired up, it resulted in an intermingling of both their fan bases, since the two live together and have both been radio presenters together. Another little-known fact that you might not be aware of unless you're a mega fan is that the two of them have played as cameo voice actors in the hit movie Big Hero 6. Phil Lester was born in Rossendale, Lancashire, England, and first began his YouTube venture in 2006. Ah, those were the prime days of the internet. Salad fingers, anybody? Phil does several videos telling stories and showcasing weird things about his life. A quote of his is, "It's a good thing to be strange. Normalness leads to sadness," and it would appear that several people agree, as he has an impressive 4.1 million subscribers. Him and Dan also have their own gaming channel. The pair might easily be known as everyone's favorite awkward British duo. With Phil having such a robust inner child and playful nature, you might assume that he was 24 or 25. So how old is the Amazingphil? He is actually 30 years old. Dun dun dun! That really is amazing. Keep that inner child alive, Phil. Don't ever give in to normality and sadness. Hannah Hart. Hannah Hart is undoubtedly a lady with a big heart. Her rise to YouTube fame most notably took off with her series called My Drunk Kitchen, which began in March 2011. For those who aren't familiar, it's a series where she cooks something every week while intoxicated. Her first attempt was at drunkenly trying to create a grilled cheese sandwich without any cheese. It got about 100,000 hits in just a few days. Sometimes her recipes come out surprisingly well. Sometimes they are disasters, but they are always funny. She finds ways to tie in funny life lessons into her inebriated cooking shows and has featured several other YouTube stars on her show, even the famous British chef Jamie Oliver. Hannah Hart is also a big inspiration to many LGBT fans as she is now openly gay. She had a tough time with her coming out, as so many often do, and she has mentioned in her videos that it severely damaged her ties with her family. But she does have a good relationship with her older and younger sisters. Her youthful gaiety and tendency to approach life with lighthearted jokes would have you thinking that she is in her mid or earlier 20s. But surprise, surprise, she is actually 30 years old. Put that in your grilled cheese and eat it. Candy Johnson. Candy Johnson is a famous YouTube makeup artist with a big, bubbly personality. She has more than 424 million views collectively and 3.8 million subscribers. Her imitation game is completely on fleek. She has done several makeup tutorials that are great for costumes, like how to look like Edward Scissorhands or a Barbie doll. She also pulls off a mean Angelina Jolie. She's not just known for YouTube, however. She did makeup artistry work for Nickelodeon's Ultimate Halloween Costume Party. She also does the voice for the character Mandy Sparkledust in the DreamWorks movie Trolls. She is a real inspiration to young girls and beauty enthusiasts alike. She really puts an emphasis on spreading as much positivity as possible with her channel. To quote her, "You're more beautiful than you know, more talented than you think, and more loved than you can imagine." Doesn't she just sound like a soccer mom who wants to hand out cookies and unicorn dust? But with her beautiful youthful looks, you'll be surprised to find out just how old she really is. Sorry, Candy, not throwing shade. Promise. She was actually born in the 70s, 1978 specifically. Wow, what a time to be alive, back when MTV actually played music. This means, however, that the lovely Candy Johnson is actually 39 years old. I never would have guessed. Anthony Padilla from Smosh. Anthony is known as being the founder of Smosh Productions, an internet channel on YouTube as well as its own website, which began roughly back in 2002. Perhaps if you're already doing the math, you're figuring out just how ancient this guy really is. He must be hoarding the fountain of youth, or maybe it exists at YouTube headquarters, because his boyish good looks are making all us other dudes look bad. Smosh Productions began humbly, as just a place where Anthony and his best friend Ian would perform comedy skits that they could share with their friends. But eventually they had their own film known as Smosh the Movie. Another thing that Anthony was known for was having possibly the best emo hair in the world, back when that was a thing. Fans were actually upset when he decided to change his hair. Anthony also has a guilty pleasure of comic books and graphic novels, as he admitted in an interview. As if that's anything to be guilty about, though. Without YouTube, Anthony might not have gotten as far as he has, since back then he didn't have aspirations to do any further education and he reportedly had no idea what to do with his life. With an aimless spirit and youthful looks, how old is this kid? He was actually born in 1987, making him not 22, but actually 30 years old. Dan Avidin from Game Grumps. Dan Avidin is the not-so-grump star of the hit gaming show known as Game Grumps, which boasts 3.9 million subscribers. Let's Play gaming channels are known for attracting younger audiences, often resonating with younger mindsets, but they also attract older ones as well. What makes the Game Grumps show stand out, perhaps, is the comedic dynamic between Dan and his co-host, Aaron Hansen, where they often voice act over video game characters to make the show funny. Their show also isn't for the faint-hearted. The two cuss like sailors, sometimes creating a litany of new creative curse words never uttered before, but all done for the purpose of comedy. You haven't seen a rage quit until you've seen Aaron rage quit. But speaking of voices, Dan has got a very smooth singing voice. He's the lead singer of the band known as Ninja Sex Party, and his band moniker is Danny Sex Bang. What a professional young lad. Danny has two personas. His band personality is intentionally flamboyant and obnoxious, while his Game Grumps persona is a little more mild-mannered and childish. And I mean those things in the best sense. Many of the lovelies, as Game Grumps fans are called, often comment that they're pretty gay for Dan. He also has many women fans. But with such an attractive appeal, despite being scruffy, you would think he must be young. Most of the Game Grumps themselves are relatively young, but actually, Danny Sexbang was born in 1979, making him 38 years old. Jenna Marbles. Some might consider Jenna Marbles an unlikely celebrity. She began with the beginnings of a usual young adult working odd jobs. She launched her channel after getting a degree in awesome at college. But no, seriously, she actually got a master's in sports psychology. She began her channel while she worked for a female-based sports site and also worked as a shots girl and promo model. She humorously described the latter job as dancing in her underwear. She also worked as a bartender and at a tanning salon. It must be fun to not use your degree if the reason is that you're too busy being famous. The video that made her famous, How to Trick People into Thinking You're Good Looking, got about 5.3 million views in just 1 week, and now has been viewed 66 million times. She's famous enough to even have her own wax figure, along with being the 25th most subscribed YouTube channel. You know you've made it in life when people make wax replicas of you. So getting your master's degree must take time, right? Even though she seems like a woman determined to never grow up, she must in fact be a bit older than she's portrayed. As it turns out, Jenna Nicole Maury, which is her real name, was born in 1986, which means that she is actually in fact 30 years old. Wengie. Wengie is a fresh-faced Australian beauty vlogger with a net worth of $1.7 million. Well, damn. I don't know, guys. I think I'm gonna quit and start being a fashionista. Not only is Wengie a gorgeous young lady, she owes some of her popularity to her multicultural appeal, being Chinese and raised in Australia. She tackles all kinds of beauty hacks from diet and fitness to cosmetics. She has over 5 million subscribers. Reportedly, she was fairly successful even before her YouTube stardom, when she worked a 9-to-5 corporate job getting a 6-figure salary. But success is not always about the money you make. She wasn't happy with her job, so she quit in pursuit of becoming a fashionista instead. She manages to stay humble with a good work ethic too. She says, "My first goal for my channel is to provide my audience with the best experience I can possibly give them, whether it be entertainment, education, or inspiration. That comes before my need to be unique, or perhaps it does make me unique." So with her beautiful face absent of any and all wrinkles, she must be in her early 20s, right? Wrong! Wenji is actually 31. She must avoid sun damage like the plague. Ray William Johnson. Though he may not be a big YouTuber like he once was, Ray William Johnson was huge in the YouTube sphere just a mere 4 or 5 years ago. In his show Equals 3, which stopped putting out new episodes about a year ago, he would provide a comedic commentary on viral videos. It was like America's Funniest Home Videos for mature audiences. He stopped hosting it himself, however, in 2014 and put new hosts on the show. But without him as the face of the show, it just simply didn't hold out. Easy come, easy go. It fizzled, but it definitely had a great run. His show used to get millions of views on each video, launching him into the ranks of higher paid YouTubers. He also produced other projects such as the Riley Rewind series with his now ex-girlfriend Anna Akana. Now he mostly just does live streams and podcasts on his Facebook page. He definitely has the look of a strapping young punk though, doesn't he? His Equals 3 show was also mostly popular with older teenagers and young 20-somethings. The jokes weren't exactly highbrow, but I was surprised to discover that this dude is actually 35. That would explain why perhaps he started to lose steam or passion with the sort of comedy he was doing. He just outgrew it. Michelle Phan. Michelle Phan is a major icon for those in the beauty and fashion sphere. She is a true rags to riches story. Some of her earliest videos included fun DIY facial masks that you could make using everyday items. I'm still waiting for my tutorials on making face masks out of leftovers to take off. I must be doing something wrong. She began doing costume makeup and her creations began to get her a lot of attention as her YouTube channel took off. She now has a growing global audience more than 7 million large. With about 1 billion views collectively, she is one of the most watched personalities in the digital space. Aside from her YouTube channel, she also has co-founded a makeup company known as Ipsy. It's a glam program where you can receive glam bags every month for just a $10 fee, and you will get samples of perfume, mini lipsticks, blushes, and more. Not that I would know. So, with such amazing success, you kinda start to figure that Miss Phan must have some years under her belt to accrue it all. But that face though. She looks like she's not a day over 21. Even when she takes her makeup off in her videos, she still looks youthful as ever. I guess that's just what happens with good genes and good treatment of your skin, because this beauty mogul is actually 31 years old. Huh? That's it. I hope you liked today's list. If anything, it hopefully shows that success can take time, but it also tells us that YouTube might be the key to looking young apparently. Maybe?